Hey, what's up guys? This is Timely here to bring you guys another Unison Link video. So today A-Team just dropped a huge update. They dropped a new water monster, 35 cost water monster with a fire Unison lock. So it looks like they're going to be releasing a batch of monsters that lock every single element, and they're just going to stagger out these monsters one by one. So let's get started talking about this new monster that just dropped. So monster's name is Edward Teach. I like that name, it's a cool name, and he looks really cool too. Looks very sinister. So he does an ability power of 200, and then so you gotta add the skill level, and it's like, so it is 220 AP per hit, so that adds up to 720 AP, which is not that bad. That actually hits pretty hard. It's not as much as like a Leffy or any of the other hard hitting monsters, but that's still pretty hard. That hits harder than a Cinderella, so it's decent. It's not bad. He casts a 10% life drain to all allies for 60 seconds, which is pretty good for PvE, super difficult quest, super united offense. He applies fire unison lock to all enemies for 120 seconds. Now that ability is pretty niche. It's alright. I don't imagine it being used for GB just yet because there's not a lot of fire monster threats out there except for Branma. Branma is definitely a threat, but I can't really think of anything else that you would use him for countering. But I can imagine him being very annoying to free-to-players who have lots of Leffia. If you were to pop him in Coliseum, that field, the Unison lock carries over between each round. So if you were to pop him round 1, people in round 2 won't be able to throw Leffia, especially if they're free to play. That could easily get me, actually, because I still use Leffia like all the time. Okay, and he casts Karma on all enemies. He stuns all enemies with a success value of 80. He reduces 20 cost for all enemies, and then he recovers 20 cost for all allies, and then applies frenzy to your character for 60 seconds finally. So the reduces cost for all enemies, that's a that ability you don't find that much on many monsters. I think you could find that on Tourbillon, but that's about it. I actually think that's a really good ability for game modes like Duel and Coliseum, because if you were to pop it at the very end, usually near the end of rounds, people are trying to rebuild cost and whatnot. If you take that cost away, they won't have cost for round 2, and it can really screw up their game plan. He also recovers 20 cost for all allies, which is always a nice thing for PvE and whatnot. And the frenzy is also a very nice touch too. So I think he's an alright monster. He's decent. I wouldn't really like wail for him, cause water 40 cost Natasha is out right now. I don't think people would throw him instead of a Natasha, but I could see him being used a lot for other game types like Colo and PvE and whatnot. So yeah, I think that's all I have to say about this monster. I think his art looks really cool too. So moving forward, we have more stuff that came out. So the update that buffs the crystal, so now players can donate proficiency to get abilities for the crystal. Now this is going to change the meta a lot, because I have no idea how to formulate a strategy around this kind of crystal buffing and debuffing and whatnot. I honestly wonder if guilds are still going to be able to one-shot now. That is going to be a huge question. I really want to see if guilds are going to be able to one-shot crystals now, and see how much stats or how much buffs it's going to take, or whatever strategy it's going to take to do so, to one-shot a crystal. I think most guilds nowadays are going to be doing a 2-shot of the crystal. So I have actually no idea what people are going to be doing. I have a couple ideas of what my guild is going to be doing, but I am just still so confused, wondering what's going to work best. Also, this crystal offense just came out, and people are going to be getting concentrate armor sooner than I have hoped for. So people are going to be proccing a lot of nulls in RGB, which is not going to be fun. It means that I'm gonna have to change strat a little bit. Starburst is going to get weaker. Oh my gosh, Starburst used to be so strong, but now that these concentrate nulls or concentrate openers are out, Starburst is gonna get hit pretty hard. So lots of strats are going to have to be changed. This treasure hunter meta is going to get a little bit stronger. Even with the treasure hunter meta being strong, if you're running a full out like archer mage backline and then you're running soldiers and treasure hunters on your front line, if you're not able to one-shot the crystal, with the crystal having karma and reflection mirror and whatnot, and then you come out to do a uni versus uni because your backline couldn't finish, chances are the other side could have like a negative pressure and have uni versus uni advantage over a treasure hunter and soldier front line. So that's one thing those types of teams have to worry about, unless they can find a way to one shot and not worrying have to go to a Unison versus Unison battle every time. So yeah guys, I'm pretty excited to see what's going to happen for RGB, seeing all the new strats that are going to come out, and that's all I have to say for now. I have to get going. See you guys next time. Peace.